Hi. I just recently received a message from just a random guy, maybe a fan, and was asking me a question around how to get back his drive. He'd lost that momentum. He'd lost the drive for where he was wanting to go. So he just sort of reached out to me. I don't know the guy, but he just reached out to me asking my advice on something. So I had the time. I saw his message. I started to reply, and I thought it was such a good question, and I thought also a really good subject to talk about. And I haven't done a video for a bit, so I thought perfect timing. So I answered him, well, the answer to your question is how do you get back to that place of being inspired and being driven and motivated to do what you want to do is what is your why? Okay, we've all heard this before. We've all heard what is your why, okay? And I'm going to deliver it a little bit differently today. And I've even spoke about before, so I'm going to deliver it differently again to that. So I said it goes back to your why. Like, why is it important to you to get back in shape, to get back into what it is that your goal was, and why is that important to you? So I asked him that question. He come back and said, I need to think about my why, and he come back with, okay, these are the reasons why I want to do it. I said, well, if that's the reasons why you want to do it, then this is the path forward. Now, when I was fighting, I knew my why. I really knew my why in every cell of my body, and by doing so, I never really fell short of discipline. I never really fell short of not showing up every day and doing what I had to do. Of course, there was days where I was tired and a little bit exhausted, but I never really was tired enough to not to turn up. I was never really, I don't have that motivation anymore to turn up to train. I was just exhausted. But I knew for all those years what my why was, and by knowing that, I was undefeated as a world champion in Muay Thai in 10 years. 11 world title fights in a 10-year period, undefeated in every time. So, because I knew my why. It was deep within me. Now I'm going to talk about the why that usually is the why that might not be so much inspired by yourself. It might be the why that's driven by others. For example, you say your why is I want to lose weight. Okay, and you want to lose weight for what? Well, I want to lose weight because, my girlfriend isn't attractive to me if I'm overweight, so I want to lose weight and make sure I'm attracted to my girlfriend. Or the other way around, that the girlfriend's like, I want to lose weight because I don't want my boyfriend to leave me, or even worse, don't want him to cheat on me. So these whys, they're kind of they're important to lose weight and get in shape and do all those things. It's good that good to have accountability partner and motivation, inspired. But the why is really not driven from yourself. It's driven from an outside person, a fear, and by doing so, you can easily fall off the perch of discipline. You can always go back to the rut because you really weren't doing it for yourself. You really weren't motivated to do it for something deeper within yourself. The why of I want to be rich. I want to be rich, and it's like, okay, well, and maybe they go along their path and they fall over. Maybe they get there. Because what's their reason they want to be rich? They want to be rich to show off. They want to be rich to attract, ladies. They want to be rich to, I don't know, buy nice things. Or do they want to be rich because they want to help build a charity and they want to, give to their friends or look after people, or they want to change lives? There's people in the world that succeed in both ways. My point is this. You have to have a why that is really bigger than anything superficial, and someone asking you to lose weight is superficial. And that's just an example, because I know that happens a lot to all of us. We want to do something for someone else to make them feel special, and so forth. So it's so important when we have lost our journey, and the reason why I can say this is because as a world champion, I knew my why. When I retired, and still to today, I'm not 100% clear on my why. So by not knowing my why 100%, I knew back then, it gives me times where I would lose concentration, I would lose discipline, I would fall off track, I would fall off routine. And that's me being vulnerable, telling you exactly that I'm just like you when I don't have the why, the real why, you get up in the morning. The real why, you'll actually hear existing. The real why that motivates you to do things that of discipline acts that do not feel like a discipline, do not feel like a sacrifice. It's an actual treat to yourself to be disciplined, because that why is so important to you. So I'm speaking from experience, from being on both sides of the fence. I'm speaking from experience, from being a world champion and knowing exactly what my why was and why I got up every morning, to being on the other side of the fence when I'm not a fighter anymore and I'm trying to figure out what is my why that makes me feel as good as when I was a fighter. I'm working on that. And I'm searching and I'm seeking and I'm lifting up rocks, and I'm traveling overseas, and I moved to America, and I'm doing many different things. I'm not just sitting stagnant in that question of what is my why. I'm seeking, I'm searching, I'm going beyond. So I can say this from experience, not just me sitting here with this, carnage motivation because, he was a world champion and he hasn't suffered. No. I'm saying it from living on both sides. If you don't have a why, if your why is not driven from you, it's a failed plan right there. You have to do something purely and powerfully for yourself. Now, you could honestly say my why is to support my family, and that right there is perfect. Okay? It may not just be all about you, because that's not what I'm saying. The why doesn't have to be all about you. The why can be about someone else, but it's driven from you. Not someone said you have to do that. It's driven from you. Your why is bigger, therefore you'll support them. That's beautiful. Okay, that's one of my whys. One of my whys why I want to be successful now financially is to take care of my family, my loved ones, my partner, all of these things. To make them have a life of abundance and freedom. That's one of my whys. So really think about it. When you fall off, let's call it the motivational train, and you're feeling like you can't do those things that you set out that you wanted to do, check in with yourself and ask yourself the question, what is my why? Is it my why, or is it someone else's why? Is it a big enough why, or is it too small, that's why I don't really care? Is it big enough? Is your why big enough, or is the why not yours? That's the two questions you need to ask yourself. And then the third one is, okay, now that I know what it is, get back to work. Get back to work, get back on that train and go crush it. Go smash it. Go do all those things we talk about, crash, smash, whatever, conquer. Go do that. But just remember, it has to be a why that's purposeful to you. It has to be purposeful to you to fully succeed and to fully be unbreakable. Unbreakable. And I know that's why I was unbreakable. I lost a few fights, but I was unbreakable as a Muay Thai fighter. I was unbreakable as a world champion. I never lost a world title fight because my why was so big. My will to win was so much bigger than anything else because my why was so strong. Now, go get it. I believe in you. I'm here for you. Send a message. Maybe I can't answer everyone's message, but I'll answer the ones I can. I'm here to help. I'm here to support. We're all in this together. As a fighter, I was on my own out there, but I had a team. And now I'm not a fighter. We're all in this world together. We all have our own fears and our own things of suffering and our own hurdles to get over. So we're in this together. So help a friend, help a partner, help a loved one, help a family member. Inspire them. Share this video. Send it to them. And let's get after our whys and let's crush it, let's smash it, let's live the ultimate life of abundance, living in purpose. Thank you.